So in today's video, we're going to discuss how to force muscle growth, specifically getting through plateaus. You have probably experienced plateaus plenty of times in your training career. I know I personally have, and I've managed to find out what works to actually fix it and overcome it in order to force that muscle growth and to get the result that it is you're looking for, which maybe is something like this on the screen. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tom Sergi. I run the Gorilla Platoon, where we get results like this every week and talk about body recomposition, and that's the theme of this channel. So if that's something that's a goal of yours in your life right now, then this channel may be of use to you, and if you find value from the video, then subscribe. My promise to you is by the end of this video, you'll know how to break through plateaus and force muscle growth. So we won't waste any time, we'll get straight into it. Now, when it comes to growing muscle, you've got the tools for progressive overload. So the first one you're going to do is you're going to try and apply more reps to the set that you've just done. Now, you're going to set a rep target for a given exercise. If it's a compound and it's a top set, you're going to go anywhere from 6 to 10. So you're going to try and progress up to the 10th rep on that point. In the beginning, you will find you are flying up. You'll be hitting 10 reps. Okay, cool. Add some more load. 10 reps, add some more load. And you'll keep repeating that out until it'll start to get to a point where you'll need to be grinding to get that extra rep. That is the point when you're building muscle. When it's flying up in the beginning, it's not that you're really building that much muscle. It's more your body is just adapting to what it can do from a neuro perspective, where it's just getting used to the movement pattern, and actually the strength it had available is quite high. So from here, once you are at that point, and every session you're just about getting another rep, but it's a fucking grind to do so, now you're building muscle. Now you're in the sweet spot. Now you're applying progressive overload. So every time you get a new rep, that's a win. That's progressive overload. You are building muscle. Now you will get to a point where you'll progress, you'll hit the top tier of the rep range, and you'll add more load. And you'll keep doing that for the longest period of time until that starts to be maxed out. Now, let me give you a trick. Let me hit you with the trick straight away. If you find that you can't put more load on, and also that you can't get the extra rep and it's a compound exercise, this is what I want you to do. Because let's picture now, you have got 3 plates aside of a machine chest press, for example. Let me get you an example up. So you've got three plates aside, you're on the chest press machine. The goal is 10, but you keep getting 9 reps. You've done this for 2 weeks on the bounce, and you're like, I'm starting to plateau out in the gym. I'm struggling to get that extra rep. Now, to get that extra rep, you need to move 3 plates per arm. That's a fair amount of fucking weight for all that distance to travel. So the way you can get around this, and this works on compound exercises especially, just add a little biscuit to each side. Add 2.5 pounds to each side, or maybe even 5 pounds each side. And what you're going to try to do is achieve the same amount of reps. Now, with that, you've only added another 10 pounds in total to the whole load, which means the overall added volume is only 90 pounds. It's not 270 pounds, significantly less, but still progress nonetheless. So it's the same amount of reps, not the same amount of effort. It's a tiny bit harder, but you will find that you have a certain capacity just to jump up a little bit, but in order to get that extra rep, it's just too far. So what we want to try and do is just creep up the volume ever so slightly, and that will just about get you over the line. You'll need to rinse and repeat that out for another week or so. Maybe then try come back down and get that extra rep again. It's a trick where people think that if you can't lift the weight, you need to add more reps. But in retrospect, when it's a big movement and distance travel is quite great, it will serve you to just add a little bit more load and to cap the distance travel by reducing a rep. Where this doesn't work so well is on an isolation exercise. On an isolation exercise, it actually serves you to go for the extra rep, because the jump in most dumbbells or cables is quite a bit bigger than you can't get the minute, like in this context that'd be like adding like a quarter of a kilo or something on to a dumbbell in order to get that little bit of extra gain. It's just not something that we can achieve in most gyms. So that's a little hack I use to get around this point. Now, besides to that, so we know to progress, you've got added reps, added load. Remember, you've also got some other tools in your box that you can use. You've got improved tempo. So if you know you've done the sets before, and let's be honest, it was 2 seconds on the way down, not 3. there's another second of tension you can cash in there. But you need to go with intent and make sure that you are doing that exact tempo. But if you could do a set with the same load, with the same reps, but this set lasts 7 seconds longer than this set, which one did you make more gains? Which one did you apply more mechanical tension to the working muscle? It's going to be the set that lasted a bit longer. So you've maxed it out. You can't get any more reps. My trick with the plates doesn't even work. However, is your tempo bang on? And even if you could try and add an extra second, even if you're already on 3 seconds down, your tempo's spot on, try and add an extra second. The next thing you've got is distance traveled, range of motion. Are you taking it through a full range of motion? Or are you coming up a little bit shorter than you know you should do? Let's be honest, we know where the bottom of the range is. Relative to our structure and your mobility and your ability to actually go through that range, we know where the bottom is and we know where we half cheat. We know on a dumbbell shoulder press, if we come down to here, we can go a little bit lower, we should be in line with our ears. That little bit of distance travelled, that's trackable progress in order to break through the plateau. So they're the 4 main methods I'd be using to get over that. The next thing I'd ask you is, how is your recovery? Because most people, honestly, when you're training, it's like you're digging a hole. You're just digging, beating the muscle up. But if your recovery's whack and you're not giving it enough food, it might not be that you've hit a plateau in training. It might just be you've just been abusing your body, beasting it in the gym, and then not matching it with the same amount of sleep and recovery. You grow when you're outside of the gym, and I think it's a very hard concept for people to understand. Going back to the video where I spoke about junk volume and why you do a top set, back off set, because it just gets people in the mindset of using those sets fucking effectively and not doing a load of junk shit. The same goes with actual workouts. Maybe you don't need 5. Maybe 4 would actually suit you better, and the extra day of recovery would allow you to recover from those 4 sessions. So you could be more direct and effective in those sessions and break through the threshold. Your threshold that you need to break through to get to the next stage is here. But you keep hitting it here. You're like, fuck, I just can't get past this point. Maybe it would serve you to have another rest day. And on that next session, you fucking set the intensity and you make it to the point. The training is a tool to grow muscle. The goal is not to do shit tons of training. The goal was never to get good at an exercise. The goal was to use the exercise to build muscle. The goal was to move the load, stretch and shorten the muscle. The goal was not to move the load from A to B, unless you're powerlifting or Olympic weightlifting, then fair enough. But you're not for this channel. We're all about hypertrophy. So I would consider that. And it will hurt your ego to take a rest day if you're anything like me. It did with me. But I found 5 days, 3 on, 1 to recover, 2 on, 1 to recover seems to be the sweet spot for what I can. But ask me how many hours I sleep a night. 8:30 to 9 every night. Because I know sleep is fucking everything and recovery is everything in order to grow in the gym. I have 7, I feel fucking horse shit. Probably because I've had 9 for so long, but I generally feel awful if I have 7 hours sleep. You're probably living off 7 hours, just abusing your body day in, day out, wondering why the next time you go to the gym, you're hitting a plateau. In fact, maybe I should have started with this. First question, are you actually sleeping enough? If you're not sleeping enough, I tell you now, start doing that, watch your numbers fly in the gym. Are you actually tracking your food and know you're eating the right amount of carbs to drive performance in the gym? If you're not, start doing that, watch what happens in the gym. There is a list that you can work through, which I've given in this video, that if you fix even just a few of them, watch your numbers fly up in the gym. And at the very least, if you've maxed everything out I've said in this video and still not seeing progress, take a week deload. Because that's the next thing I'd say. You're probably due a deload. When was the last time you took a deload? Never. But to be honest, most people don't train hard enough that they actually need a deload. But that would be the next thing. Take a deload. Watch what happens when you come back. Numbers fly up through the gym. So they're my points to you in order to break through a plateau. I think there's plenty there that if you've searched for this video and you are looking, how do I break through a plateau? You've got a list there to work through. If you start implementing a few of these things, I guarantee you start breaking through the plateau. If you were and you tried them and it worked, comment to tell me it worked. If you were and you tried them and it didn't work, comment to tell me you thought what I said was horse shit and it didn't work. But it'll be good to hear your perspective from it. So that's what I'd be doing if I was not making progress in the gym. And it's important. You should be making progress week in, week out. You should be able to put your hands on your progress and be like, yep, here's my logbook. Improved on these lifts. Perfect. Cool. Rinse and repeat. Didn't improve. Why not? This is the conversation I have with my clients. This is the conversation I have with my coach. If we didn't improve, why didn't we improve? And what we do about it to make sure next week we do improve. Because time is important. Getting to the goal as quick as possible, as efficient as possible, is fucking important. if you've got no one to keep you accountable, no one to like hold this to, weeks will go by, months will go by, you'll still look the same. And you'll just be like, it's genetics. It's not fucking genetics. It's the fact that you actually weren't following what you should have been doing to get to the point. So, side tangent. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, subscribe. If you want me to keep you accountable, then there'll be links in the description and you can book a call. We'll take it from there. But I'll see you tomorrow.